Yo. Hey, yo, what's going on, guys? It's me, ya boy, Bass. I'm sorry this intro is fucking terrible. So, what is this video? Well, you see, a long time ago, a friend of mine named Extreme Andy, or Anderson, parodied a video of mine called I Rate Video Games for the Sake of Content, but his was I Rate Movies for the Sake of Content. And, you know, his video may have done better than mine. And, you know, I'm not petty. I'm not petty. I'm not salty. No, I'm really not. But, I'm gonna steal a video idea of his because he stole a video idea of mine. Also, by the way, ignore the camera in the background. I'm doing something later with it, and it's just kind of sitting there. This video is a parody of I Review 10 Albums I Listened to in 2021. Don't know if I got the title correct. I don't want to check. I don't fucking care. So in this video, I'm going to be reviewing 10 shows I watched over the course of 2022 instead of 10 albums like he does in his video. I'm not petty. So without further ado, let's get into it. The Book of Boba Fett, if there was any more disappointment of a show, it would be this one. Because, oh my god, does it suck massive balls. I don't know where they thought the direction for this show was going to go. Because after episode 5, it just kind of stops telling the story it was trying to tell. I do not know what the fuck they were doing with Boba Fett's character in this show. Because, oh my god, do they fuck it up? Like, severely. Like, Boba Fett is supposed to be this fucking bounty hunter that doesn't have a moral code. But for some reason, they gave him a moral code. That doesn't make sense. Because that's totally not within his character. At all. That had been set up through Fuck, I just smacked the microphone. That had been set up through multiple different Star Wars continuities. It doesn't make sense. I like the idea that he's trying to rule a criminal empire with respect instead of fear. I live by the code that ruling with respect, you shall never know the fear of betrayal, but to rule through fear, you will only know betrayal. Like, fucking hell. I live by that code, but it does not work for Boba Fett's character. That is something you gotta do else. Anyways, that's all I gotta say in the show. It kinda sucks. I don't have a rating system. I don't even know if Anderson did a rating system in his video. Whatever. I don't know. Fucking Wookie. Let's see. What's next? Game of Thrones. Let's do it. So, I know you're wondering, Liam, why the fuck did you watch Game of Thrones in 2022? The show's been out for fucking ages. Listen, I am busy. I have a life. No, I don't. That's a lie. But I have priorities outside of, you know, stuff like this. Also, from some of the stuff I'd heard about the show, I didn't really want to watch it because, well, the kind of stuff disgusts me, and I don't know if I'd be able to sit through it maturely, you know? But I decided to do it, and I only watched seasons 1 through 4 because I haven't had time to watch any of the later seasons. I like Tywin Lannister's character. I feel like he's a very powerful villain. I like him. I also liked a bunch of other stuff in season 4, but ultimately I don't really have much to say other than I liked seasons 1 through 4. I'm pretty sure that's where the show ever slowly starts to decline. You know, I like the scenes with Robb and his mother, how mother is comforting and Robb is a big fucking crybaby. I also like, you know, Jon Snow's relationship with the fact that, you know, he's technically a bastard, and so he doesn't really get along with Miss Stark. I like that. Ultimately, not much to say. It's okay, I guess, at least season 1 through 4 and the ones I watch. I haven't watched the full show. Yeah. Fight me! Peacemaker. What a great show. I love John Cena as Peacemaker. I have a lot to say about the show. That's a lie, I don't, but I really love this show. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but it is just it's a masterpiece. The way it fleshes out its characters, it makes me feel bad for even the fucking comedic relief characters. Like, you know, it takes its time. It really wants to be a good show, and it is definitely doing that. James Gunn is a director I definitely look up to as someone who's trying to go into directing and film and stuff like that and wants to be a writer. I really look up to James Gunn. He is, you know, everything I wish I was, but I'm not. Dragon Prince. I haven't seen this show completely yet. I'm still finishing it up, but I like it. In my opinion, it very much shares my opinions on things like peace. You see, I'm of the belief, and you could totally fucking roast me for this belief, but I'm of the belief that peace is not hard. It's the people that want to make peace that make it hard. Because when we make peace, you want all these fucking things. It's just like, why can't we just hug each other? Like, hug each other, say, I'm sorry, and then fuck off and act like we did, and just not talk to each other. Like, peace, in my opinion, is not that hard, and that's what I like about the characters. Like, even though they're children, they understand peace is not that hard. Then again, I'm a child, but, it just works. It shares my opinion of peace, and I really like it. It serves a lot of a good message. It also serves a good message about trust that isn't that, like, Raya in the Last Dragon movie, whatever the fuck that is, that just kind of gaslights you into trust. Ugh. Yeah, very good show. I really like it. Avatar The Last Airbender. I know, fucking flame me in the comments. Look, I didn't have cable growing up. I had to live off of YouTube and Netflix. That's probably why I like YouTube and Netflix so much, is because I had to live off of them. And throughout my childhood, I was I was watching Power Rangers. That was my thing as a kid. I fucking loved Power Rangers. I had no time for Avatar The Last Airbender, even though they just recently put it on Netflix, and I was like, okay, it's on Netflix now. I'll fucking watch it. And that's why I just started watching it, because I, literally could not do it as a kid. And it sucks because there's Gravity Falls. I hear that's a good thing. Couldn't watch it. It sucks. But I finally got around to watching it. Super fucking good. 10 out of 10. Masterful show. Really love Zuko as a character. I know that's gonna get some commenting about it because that is such a fan favorite character. And I'm not fucking original. Witcher. Really liking this show. I'm a sucker for fantasy, and The Witcher is pretty high fantasy. I personally never played the game or read the books. Season 1, I think, was okay. I really don't... it took me a while to realize it was kind of all over the place, like where the timeline is concerned. I didn't really realize that, and I had to look it up, and my uncle did too when he was watching the show, because we didn't get it because we never read the books. And I've played like maybe 60 minutes of the third game. I haven't played that much of it. I actually had a video on The Witcher that I took down because I wasn't satisfied with it. Yeah. Really good show. Season 2, in my opinion, does a lot better, like explaining the lore and stuff like that, as well as just kind of more coherent. And I'm looking forward to Season 3, whenever the fuck that comes out. Gotham. I watched Gotham. Yeah, it's a very good show in my opinion. I've only seen Season 1. Haven't seen the other seasons. I heard it gets better because Season 1 is very slow. But, in my opinion, it is an interesting concept. It does, like, everything before Batman, and I like that. Like, usually we see Thomas and Martha Wayne get bleh, and then, it just kind of time skips. Bleh. So yeah, I really like this show. Jim Gordon is, probably my new favorite Batman character. I like the setup with Riddler. I love exploring Penguin's story. The only real, I guess, bad thing I have to say is I really feel like Fish Mooney should have been kicked off the show after she kind of failed to, defeat Falcone. And that's not that's not me being sexist. No, I love Fish Mooney as a character. She's great. But just everything after she fails to defeat Falcone, I wasn't interested in. Maybe that's just a personal thing, and this is all just my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. But I just feel like maybe she should have, been bad after she failed to defeat Falcone. It just, meh. Anyways, that's all I gotta say for Gotham. Moving on! The Legend of Vox Machina. Oh boy, this is a show I very much liked. When Critical Role announced that they were making an animated series, I was like, sign me the fuck up! Yeah, no, I really love this show. I like its comedy, mostly. I do feel some moments are a bit too, Deus Ex Machina ish. But I don't know. That may be just a me thing. I'm not personally the biggest fan of Critical Role, and honestly, I wasn't the biggest fan of the Vox Machina party. I very much like the Mighty Nine better than Vox Machina. I still do, but this show really got me to be invested in this story. I really like it. The characters are all stereotypes, but you know what? There's no shame in that. I've kind of learned as a writer, tropes are your friend, not your foe. And you shouldn't be afraid to do some stereotypical bullshit because it's stereotypical. You know, stereotypes are true, unfortunately. You know, not all stereotypes, but some. Anyways, that's all I have to say. The Boys. I want to preface this. I am not the biggest fan of the Superman turns evil plotline. Or the evil Superman plotline, I should say. I'm just really not the biggest fan of it. In my opinion, I like Superman for who he is. Hope, justice, the American way, although I'm pretty sure that's been changed as of recently. Like, I like what he stands for. Justice, hope, humanity. I like Superman. Superman is, in my opinion, a perfect character because he's just so fucking kind. I like that Superman. The what if Superman was evil? I don't like it. It just, to me, it feels wrong. And unfortunately, it feels like a lot of writers have recently pushed this idea. Now, I liked Invincible, but again, I'm just not a big fan of that plotline. The Boys really got me to like that plotline. In my opinion, The Boys is the evil Superman shit done perfectly. Mainly because, ironically, the heroes have to create Superman to defeat evil Superman. And I just find that hilarious and ironic. But that is just what I like about The Boys. Is it is, in my opinion, the evil Superman formula done right. And it does it a lot better than Injustice or fucking Invincible. In my opinion. You don't have to agree with me there. Yeah, I like Huey is, Huey is someone I can relate to. Huey? I'm gonna say Huey. Huey is someone I can really relate to as a character. Like, I'm not the most confident. I'm not the most, like, I really suck at standing up for myself. I'm not, like, that tough, mean, stuff like that. So, I can relate to the fact that, Huey is really struggling because, he's not tough. He's not a tough guy. But, like, watching him become a tough guy is fucking amazing. I love watching it. It's so great. So yeah, I really like the show. It's funny. It's action-packed. Just all around. Also love how, despite, Huey and Starlight's relationship being on the more mature side, I do love how it's not a perfect relationship. It has its hiccups. And, it gets a fucking 10 out of 10 for me. Or 11 out of 10. Because, I don't know. I'm not doing ratings. These don't matter. Meta Runner Season 2. Actually watched this a long time ago. This is technically not a 2022 watch. I technically rewatched it in 2022. But I didn't watch it in 2022 specifically. Season 3 is coming out. A lot of Season 3 is coming out on this list now that I think about it. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, no, I really liked Meta Runner Season 2. It perfectly expanded on the first season. I will say, though, one thing that I will say Meta Runner kind of has is, in my opinion, a bit of a pacing issue. Like, some moments feel too slow, some moments feel too fast. Character relationships, in my opinion, don't really have time to build necessarily, which is okay, I guess, but, to me, it feels weird. I didn't really like how in Season 1, a whole episode was dedicated to a fucking car chase. Like, I just didn't like that. But, I like Season 2. Season 2 was very much good, in my opinion. It perfectly expanded on what Season 1 set up. Evelyn was a bitch of a character, and I fucking hate everything about her. But you know what? I also like it, because they made a character I could hate. But, meh. I don't feel particularly bad for Evelyn, but, like, I'm meant to hate her. I'm not supposed to like her. And I really feel like, they wrote a perfect character to hate, and that's good writing in my opinion. Um, I also love like the twist at the end with Sheridan becoming the bad guy, and fucking Lux being dead. It's funny too. It's such like I don't know, a twist, because when they were talking about the show originally, when it was first being announced, they were like, "Oh yeah, Lux is gonna be the bad guy. Like, he's the big corporation asshole. He's the bad guy, and now he's fucking dead." Yeah, yeah. It's like it was so good. I also like how they technically set up Sheridan, like just in the background. I also don't really know Sheridan's motivation for being evil. It's kind of weird to me, but fuck it, whatever. I just know that r/meta runner has been constantly fucking joking about Sheridan being a bad guy, and already like pre-mocking him. I mean, Lux was, an okay antagonist. I don't necessarily sympathize with Lux. But I understand his motive. I understand why he's doing what he's doing. He's a fucking rich guy who wants to be rich. And he's willing to do whatever it takes to get rich. Like, that's not, I mean, you don't always have to sympathize with your villain, and Lux is not necessarily a villain I can sympathize with, but I can understand. And it's like people are like, "Oh, you have to have sympathy for your villain." No. You don't have to sympathize with your villain. You don't have to pity your villain. You just have to understand them. Like, you can understand why they're doing what they're doing. You just, like, you don't have to sympathize with them. You don't. You just don't. Like, you don't have to feel bad for them. And, Lux is not somebody I feel bad for, but maybe I'll feel bad for Sheridan. I don't know. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Kind of went a little ranty, if I do say so myself. But to be fair, I'm just trying to make a parody video here. I'm just trying to get back at my friend for, doing something to me. Not petty, though. All I gotta say is, at least I can Photoshop correctly.